The 2022 GMC Hummer EV. GM announced the reincarnation of the Hummer moniker in early 2020 as an EV, to much surprise. It was supposed to debut in May last year, but the pandemic threw a spanner in the works and it had to be pushed by a few months. In October, the super truck was finally revealed with a whole lot of information. The Hummer EV boasts of specs that can throw the competition out of the water, but it comes with a starting sticker price of $80,000, which makes it a super premium offering. So, is this mouth-watering product with an eye-watering price tag the ultimate truck that you need in your garage? 2022 Hummer EV Powertrain. GMC will offer the Hummer EV in 3 different trims plus a special Edition 1 trim that was sold out soon after the bookings opened. The EV Edition 1 is an ode to GM's first ever electric car, the EV1, which was produced between 1996 and 1999. The base EV2 trim will be powered by 2 motors that will produce 625 horsepower and 7,400 pound-feet of torque. The second trim, called the EV2X, will also feature the same setup and power outputs, but with a bigger battery and better range. The EV3X will feature a tri-motor setup and will dish out 800 horses and 9,500 pound-feet of torque, combined. The Edition 1 will also come with 3 motors, but the power figures are rated at an unreal 1,000 horsepower and 11,500 pound-feet of torque. Now, to address the elephant in the room, these insane torque figures can take a layman by surprise. The rating published by GMC, or most of the EV manufacturers in general, is the torque at wheels and not the torque at the motor. Engineering Explained broke down the math and concluded that in the top iteration, the motors make around 1,000 pound-feet of torque, in the metric that we're used to. So, it wouldn't be wrong to take roughly around 10% of the torque figures published for our ease of understanding. 2022 Hummer EV Suspension System. Independent front and rear suspensions are offered as standard, whereas the front and rear locking differentials are optional. The super truck can also be had with an air-adaptive suspension system that automatically adjusts the height for different conditions. There is a selectable drive mode as well, called the terrain mode, which raises the height by 2 inches. An optional extract mode can also be had that raises the truck to 6 inches to maneuver carefully over boulders and fording water. Furthermore, the suspension can also be had with continuous damping adaptive ride control that adjusts the damping levels based on the surface you drive on. The terrain mode comes as standard on all the trims except the EV2, and here are the angles and other ratings when activated. With the optional extract mode, these figures get even better, and this is how they look. 2022 Hummer EV Battery and Range. Hummer has not announced the battery capacities, but on the EV2 trim, the estimated range is 250 miles. On the Hummer EV2X and the EV3X, the estimated range is 300 miles, and on the top Edition 1, it's 350 miles. The EV will make use of GM's Ultium Batteries, which are basically pouch-style cells that can be packed either horizontally or vertically in the battery pack. This arrangement pattern is said to have a good impact on the performance and charging times, and also helps optimize battery energy storage. As a general thumb rule, the 100 kilowatts battery will be good for approximately 300 miles, so we could have around 80 kilowatt-hours battery packs in the base trim and perhaps 120 kilowatt-hours packs in the top trim. This is just a back-of-the-envelope calculation and nothing concrete. GMC also said that these Ultium batteries support fast charging, with select trims offering up to 100 miles of range in 10 minutes. This comes courtesy of its compatibility with 800 volts DC fast chargers that support charging speeds of up to 350 kilowatts. 2022 Hummer EV Performance and Autonomous Technology. The 2 trims with the tri-motor setup come with an electric 4-wheel drive system with torque vectoring. In these models, you get something known as Wtf Mode, watts to freedom, which is essentially a driver-selectable mode that activates a launch control of sorts. Activate this and you'll be able to sprint from 0 to 60 miles per hour in 3 seconds flat. For a truck this big, with not so great coefficient drag figures, and heavy curb weight, this is quite impressive. It goes unsaid that it will take a toll on the range. The Hummer EV will feature GM's latest version of the Super Cruise, which will rival Tesla's Autopilot. The Super Truck is the first model outside the Cadillac range to feature Super Cruise. GM introduced this autonomous tech on the Cadillac CT6 4 years back for the first time. Since then, there has been a lot of improvement, and GM claims that his driver assistance feature offers hands-free driving on more than 200,000 miles of enabled roads. It even comes with automatic lane changing, wherein you flick the turn indicator and the vehicle will switch lanes on its own. 2022 GMC Hummer EV exterior. The reincarnated Hummer will draw just as much attention as the old Hummer did. It is big, muscular, and brawny. Up front, the truck features an illuminated grille with the Hummer lettering. It reeks of futuristic design overall and will look like an alien if throw it in the current crop of cars on the road. There's full underbody armor to protect from hits on beaten paths, and there are steel plates, too, to safeguard the differential and the battery pack. The Brobdingnagian stature is even more prominent when viewed from the side, thanks to the square wheel arches, rock rails, and angular construction. The Super Truck will come with 18-inch tires wrapped in 35-inch standard Goodyear Wrangler tires as standard, whereas 37-inch tires will be available as an option. At the rear, the truck comes with a multi-pro tailgate as standard. It's the same one that we've seen on other GMC trucks as well. Essentially, it's a dual tailgate setup and can be activated at a push of a button on the tailgate itself or using the key fob. Apart from being flipped down like a conventional tailgate, it can work as a standing desk, or can be folded down to create a step in the bed as well. Ram's barn door style on the multifunction tailgate seems better, but this setup isn't too bad either. It also has a primary gate and inner gate load stops, and can withstand up to 375 pounds of load. A power-to-no cover and a power rear drop glass window further improve the hauling versatility in this truck. The towing and payload capacities are still not announced, but we expect it to offer at least 8,500 and 3,000 pounds, respectively. 2022 Hummer EV interior and technology. On the inside, the truck feels very plush and premium. It follows a Lunar Horizon theme, and you can see the touches all around the cabin, like the dual-tone seats, tech bronze accents, etc. As expected, it features a digital instrument cluster behind the 3-spoke steering wheel that measures 12.3 inches in size. On the center console, GMC has equipped a 13.4-inch touchscreen system to take care of the infotainment duties. It will support Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. A 14-speaker Bose audio system is also on offer here. Off-road widgets that show data like torque output, differential locker engagement, tire pressure, pitch and roll angles, a drift gauge, friction circle, torque vectoring, and so on the screen inside the cabin. The Super Truck also feels very spacious and airy, thanks to the removable roof. GMC calls this the Infinity Roof, and it gels well with the Lunar Horizon theme since you can stargaze without any obstructions. Called the Infinity Roof, it features 4 removable transparent sky panels that can be stowed into the frunk whenever you take them off. The rear I-bar remains as it is, giving a Targa-like T-shaped top and offering a complete open-air experience for the passengers at the front. Since there are no window frames either, it just gets better. The process to remove and put them back, however, needs to be easy. 2022 Hummer EV off-road tech. Hummer EV comes with something known as crab walk mode, which is exactly what the name suggests. You can basically drive diagonally, thanks to the 4-wheel steer feature. The rear wheel steer can articulate up to 10 degrees, and front wheels can be steered at the same angle at low speeds, which enables the truck to crawl like a crab. GMC will offer the Hummer EV with Ultravision cameras that will be extremely useful when you take it off the roads. There are forward and rear-facing cameras under the body that give you 18 different views. In fact, they are said to be placed low enough to see beyond the skid plates. They come with replaceable lens protectors, so you don't have to worry about it burning a hole in your pocket in case they get damaged. And, if you've had an adventurous day in the slush, you don't have to bend and clean the cameras because Hummer has offered a wash function for them. It's these neat touches that show how well the company has thought out the product. 2022 Hummer EV pricing. This is how the Hummer EV is priced. Hummer EV $279,995, Hummer EV 2X $89,995, Hummer EV 3X $99,995, Hummer EV Edition 1 $112,595. The Hummer EV will be eligible for the $7,500 federal tax credit, but there's no word about it from GMC. So, we assume that the prices quoted are without considering the federal tax credit. Is the Hummer EV better than Tesla Cybertruck? This will be a battle to look out for. They operate at different price points, but there's no denying that these vehicles will clash. The Tesla Cybertruck starts at under $40,000 and offers way more bang for the buck. But the offbeat, unorthodox styling doesn't sit well with everyone. Tesla offers the Cybertruck with a single motor, dual motor, and tri-motor setups. In its best iteration, it makes 800 horses and 1,000 pound-feet of torque, and takes 2.9 seconds to sprint to 60 miles per hour from a standstill. The range here is going to be over 500 miles, whereas the towing and payload capacities are rated at 14,000 and 3,500 pounds. This tri-motor model will cost $69,900, which is $10,000 less than the starting price of the Hummer EV, and $30,000 lower than the tri-motor setup. What's your pick going to be? Read our full review on the Tesla Cybertruck. Is the Hummer EV better than the Rivian R1t? If you thought the price gap between the Cybertruck and the Hummer EV is too much, here's a truck that fills the void and has the potential to penetrate the sales of both trucks. The Rivian R1t starts at $67,500. It comes with a quad-motor setup and in its best form, it can sprint to 60 miles per hour from a standstill in 3 seconds. It can deliver around 300 miles and can tow up to 11,000 pounds. The truck can rock crawl at 100% grade, too, and comes with something known as the tank turn, wherein the truck can spin on a dime, thus eliminating the question, what's the turning radius? It has stuff like a 15.6-inch touchscreen system, an all-glass panoramic roof, and loads of driver assistance features. Well, it's gotten quite competitive already, and mind you, none of these trucks are available yet. Read our full review on the Rivian R1t. 2022 Hummer EV delivery. The Hummer EV will be manufactured at GM's Detroit Hamtramck Assembly, also called Factory Zero these days, which has been retooled with a $2.2 billion investment for EV production. All the 4 models, however, will arrive at different points, with the most expensive one arriving fast and the cheapest one at last. The estimated schedules, for now, are as follows. Hummer EV Edition 1 Fall 2021, Hummer EV 3X, Fall 2022, Hummer EV 2X, Spring 2023, Hummer EV 2, Spring 20,242,022, Hummer EV accessories and packages. According to a recent report, the Hummer EV will come with around 200 optional accessories at launch. There's no information on this, but you can expect stuff like illuminated door sill plates, interior trim kits, all-weather floor liners and mats, bed liners, splash guards, different kinds of tonneau covers, and so on. Love it. Stuff like crab walk mode and Wtf mode, put it in a different league altogether. Super Cruise is a big selling point. It's a Hummer. Leave it. Exorbitant pricing range as low even as per today's standards. Tesla Cybertruck and Rivian R1t offer better bang for the buck.
If you liked this video, please share your thoughts in the comments below and don't forget to hit the subscribe button.